Three men breaks in to rob a woman, but soon they are trapped in her psycho web, where escape becomes impossible, and survival becomes a lie, because this house isn't her weakness, it's her weapon. And tonight, the hunters learn what it feels like to be prey. This is Intruders. The story opens with Anna Rook, a woman in her late 20s, trapped by a crippling anxiety disorder that has kept her inside her house for over 10 years. Her only support is her dying older brother, Connor. With no other family, they cling to each other and to the dark secrets hidden within their isolated home. Visitors are rare and never fully trusted, except Connor's lawyer, Charlotte, who often arrives to discuss Connor's will, but Anna refuses to listen because accepting the inheritance would mean accepting Connor's death, so she is not ready. Meanwhile, Dan, the gentle delivery man who brings their food every day, remains the only person Anna feels safe talking to and won her trust over time.
Connor is worried about her after he is gone, so we ask her to forgive their father and move on. But the memory only pulls Anna further into pain. That night, the care alarm blares again, and Anna rushes to Connor's room. But it was already too late. Connor is dead. By morning, after the paramedics take his body away, Anna scrubs the house raw and throws out his medication, as if wiping away the traces could undo her loss. Then, at her lowest, Dan returns with food and comfort, who suggests she sell the house, leave this cursed town, and start over somewhere new, saying he'd do the same if he had the money. So, Anna brings out a bag of cash and urges him to take it, but Dan refuses and leaves. On the day of the funeral, Anna prepares to leave the house, but at the last moment, her anxiety overwhelms her, and despite wanting to say goodbye to her brother, she stays inside, trapped by fear and guilt. Suddenly, a car pulls up outside, and three men step out, peering through the windows to make sure no one is home. They assume Anna is at the funeral. Inside, Anna watches in panic as JP smashes the back door open, and Vance and Perry follow him in. Then a kettle whistles, thereby realizing Anna is at home. So the intruders cut the landline wire and spread out, while Anna runs upstairs and hides in a bedroom. But soon, Perry enters the bedroom, to which she sprints back downstairs and races towards the front door, but soon freezes. Her anxiety paralyzes her. The intruders find her behavior strange, but they don't care. JP simply shuts the door, then asks why she didn't escape when she had the chance, why she didn't call the police earlier. Then, he demands the money, but Anna stays silent. So, the men split up. While JP and his brother Vance search the house, Perry stays behind to watch Anna. Under pressure, Anna explains her condition, admitting she hasn't stepped outside in over 10 years. Instead of sympathy, Perry is intrigued, almost entertained. So, to test her, he drags her toward the door and forces her outside. But JP intervenes, and soon Anna collapses, wetting herself. Disgusted, JP orders Vance to take her upstairs and clean her, while he and Perry continue searching the house. Down in the basement, the duo come across two doors without handles. The doors surely lead somewhere, but they are impossible to open no matter how hard they tried. Meanwhile, Vance tries to make Anna change, but unlike the others, he isn't willing to hurt her for money. Sensing an opportunity, Anna tries to reason with him, but fails, and soon hesitation turns into frustration. Vance snaps, throws Anna onto the bed. Just then, Dan storms in and pulls Vance away. But in a shocking turn, Dan calls Vance by his name, revealing that they are friends. Thereby, Anna realizes that Dan is also with the intruder and loses her mind and runs downstairs. The noise alerts JP and Perry, who regroup in the living room and quickly realize Vance has lost her. So, Perry and Vance split up to search the house, while JP stays back and ties Dan to a chair. Growing impatient, Perry escalates. He grabs Anna's pet parakeet and threatens to kill it if she doesn't come out. However, Anna stays hidden. So, Perry kills the bird and returns to the living room.
Meanwhile, Anna slips into the bathroom, but Vance finds her and in a burst of terror stabs him in the throat, killing him instantly. Then, she drags Vance's body down into the basement. While the other two are still busy with Dan, hear the sound of Anna dragging a body across the floor. They follow and found a blood trail leading to the basement, and soon find Vance's lifeless body. As grief takes hold, Anna rushes back upstairs and retrieves the key, and she pulls a lever. Then the basement stairs retract, trapping JP and Perry in the basement. As time passes, the intruders try to break through the basement doors, but they are reinforced and withstand every attempt. Back upstairs, Dan confesses that he is friends with Vance and had told him about the money the day before, never realizing it would lead the robbers to her house. He also admits he came only to check on her, worried because Anna never showed up at her brother's funeral. However, Anna doesn't believe him. Instead, she breaks Dan's finger and drags him to the edge of the stairless basement and pushes him off, dislocating his knee. Later, she returns and instructs them to use the first aid kit inside one of the two locked rooms. But as JP enters the room, Anna presses a button and the door shuts behind him, trapping him inside. Meanwhile, Perry refuses to die in the basement and starts slamming himself against the door, and eventually manages to break it through. Then he enters an empty hallway and comes across a room where he discovers a hole in the wall. He peers inside and discovers a hidden stairs leading upward. But before he can alert JP about the hidden stair, Anna sneaks up behind him and slams a hammer into his head. But Perry manages to pin her down and begins choking her. However, the wound takes its toll, his grip weakens, and soon, he bleeds to death just before he could kill Anna. Soon after, Conrad's lawyer Charlotte arrives to check on Anna and notices Dan's car parked outside and questions its presence. Meanwhile, down in the basement, Dan searches for Perry and stumbles upon a large cooler. Upon opening it, he recoils in horror. Inside lies a frozen corpse. Upstairs, Anna quietly picks up a knife, preparing to strike Charlotte. While in the basement, Dan discovers a hidden staircase and follows it to a dead end, and begins pounding the top ceiling, which catches Charlotte's attention. However, Anna is quick to convince Charlotte that the noise is nothing more than a faulty radiator. Convinced, Charlotte doesn't press further, and soon leaves the house. Next, Anna descends into the basement, drags Dan to a closet, and locks him inside. Then, she moves into a hidden room, where a one-way mirror concealed behind a painting. Moments later, Anna lifts her controller, and the wardrobe doors snap open, sending Dan crashing onto the floor. Now suspicious, JP realizes Anna may be watching them, so he smashes at the mirror. But Anna's voice cuts in through a speaker that the glass is bulletproof. Then, she orders him to put on a shirt from a nearby drawer, to which he reluctantly obeys. Then, JP begins to theorize why these disturbing rooms exist, and soon concludes that Anna and her brother are psychopaths. How they'd lured their victims into the house where Conrad killed them, while Anna watched and spoke to them from behind the glass. Hearing this, Anna becomes furious at the accusation and slides a folder through a narrow opening, revealing the truth that they only targeted pedophiles, people she believed deserved punishment. Their crusade, she explains, began because their father was a pedophile who abused her throughout her childhood, until one day, Conrad strangled him to death. After that, Anna never left the house again. Then, JP turns sarcastic and pushes further, deliberately triggering her anxiety by claiming they eventually enjoyed killing, and that her brother fell sick and died because of it. Finally, Anna snaps and frustration orders Dan that there's a revolver in the room and orders him to kill JP with the promise to let him go free. Hearing this, JP shoves Dan aside and grabs the gun himself. Now consumed by frustration, Anna turns coldly sarcastic and begins persuading JP to shoot himself. She blames him for his brother's death and insists that death is the only path to his salvation, to which JP slowly breaks down and raises the gun to his own head. But then, he bursts into laughter. It was all a bluff. Instead, he swings the gun toward Dan and threatens to kill him unless Anna lets them out. Unable to risk Dan's life, Anna releases them. Soon, JP and Dan stagger outside, carrying Vance's dead body. However, grief quickly turns to rage. He storms back inside and begins pouring gasoline throughout the house. Desperate, Anna finally offers him the money, but it no longer matters. He attacks her, and in the chaos, Anna manages to escape upstairs. But JP catches her, throws her onto the bed and pins her down, and says he wants to make her relive the same horrors her father inflicted on her. The fact that he's wearing the very same shirt her father once wore. Just then, Dan bursts into the room. And while JP is distracted, Anna seizes the moment, grabs the revolver, and shoots JP dead. Finally, Dan walks out without a word, while Anna makes a choice to face her fear. She sets the house on fire, destroying it along with its buried secrets. Then, she walks away, ready at last to live the life her brother always wanted for her.
With that, the movie ends. Please like, comment, and subscribe for more. Thanks for watching.